Mr. Robot is one of the best shows on television currently, and sometime soon I'd like to do a more in-depth video on the series, but today I want to talk about a popular fan theory. A theory that involves potential time travel of sorts, and there's a surprising amount of evidence that supports it. Anyone that watches the show knows that Whiterose is obsessed with time, and some fans believe that she may be building a time machine of some sort, which sounds a bit ridiculous considering that the show is more or less grounded in reality. However, Whiterose keeps referring to a project she's working on, and it looks like every move she's made over the show's timeline has been for the purpose of that project. A project of someone who secretly rules the world and is obsessed with time.
Every hacker has her fixation. You hack people, I hack time.
Damn, she infected me with her time paranoia.
The movie Back to the Future is referenced almost constantly throughout the show.
Do you mind holding my flux capacitor for a second? I gotta clean my glasses.
Along with just the overarching theme of taking back something you did or the ability to undo. So it's likely that this is all just thematic, like the quick Superman reference when Elliot is about to undo 5-9 at the end of season 3. But there's still a few details that can't be ignored, mostly revolving around Angela. In season 2, Whiterose recruits Angela to the Dark Army with that weird Commodore 64 computer test, but we never really know why Angela agrees. She does this using a little girl that resembles Angela from her childhood, telling her it's a test of empathy or gullibility, take your pick. The thing is, the little blonde girl in that scene doesn't just resemble her. Later in season 3, we see a flashback of Angela talking to Elliot's dad, there's Back to the Future again, but in that scene, it's the same little girl from season 2. Obviously, they just used the same actress twice, but what if it was more intentional than that?
Coincidence? I think not!
Either way, it's kind of strange to do that, but I don't know, maybe they were just trying to save money. I'm sure talented child actors don't grow on trees. Anyway, after this, Angela starts to say some pretty weird stuff.
What if I told you we could make it like none of this ever happened? Including what happened to our parents. Did Whiterose ever show you?
Yes.
And you believe in it?
Take a look at technology nowadays. It's mind-boggling. Tell these ribs. You think it was even possible to cook them as deliciously as this 100 years ago?
We're going back to the way that things should be.
She exploited your feelings about your mom and used them against you. That's what she does.
I thought that you wanted our parents back.
All this seems to suggest that Whiterose either told Angela about a time machine or some other form of it to get her mom back. Then again, Whiterose is pretty manipulative, so perhaps Whiterose just sprayed on her vulnerability and told her she could bring her mom back even though she couldn't. But even that seems far-fetched to me. I have trouble believing that a level-headed person like Angela all of a sudden believes this kidnapping stranger that time travel is possible without proof. But I don't know. Maybe that's why she and so many of her followers are so cavalier with death and murder, because they know that it's just gonna get reversed. Maybe Whiterose wants to bring a certain someone back to life? If I had to guess, I'd say it might be a way to control time rather than time travel, but it's anyone's guess at this point.
She has murdered countless people to fulfill this ridiculous fantasy. Look, it's not possible. What she's talking about, Angela, this so-called project of hers, it stems from an obsessive psychotic denial of reality.
You're wrong about her project. I know it's possible. I've seen it, and I know how to take it from her.
So there's definitely a lot here to validate the theory, but nothing concrete yet. Season 4 just started, so it's probably going to get debunked in a couple days. It's more likely that her project is something we couldn't possibly guess yet, but it's still interesting to consider the possibility, even if it is a bit far-fetched. Perhaps I just need to come to terms with the fact that that's just not the real world.
Even if I want it to be.
Well, I guess it all depends on what your definition